Go ahead.
Brian Shirley, tonight's the
There
night.
you go.
We're
Let's do
all
it.
going first-time winners. Yellow lights turned off. Race car engineering pace truck in the infield. Green flag is going to fly in the Ace Duran hauling and rigging start zone. It's Brandon Overton on the pole, Clay Harris on the outside, and we are underway.
50 laps, Ben will talk to the top three. Who's going to be on the big reverse steel podium tonight? Brandon Overton looking for his 4th overall. He's got 4 overall wins this year down the back straightaway. Clay Harris. Can he finish the deal here tonight in car number 6? Up top, they're side by side at turn 4. Will Clay Harris lead lap number 1 as they come off at turn 4? He does it. Car number 6 for the Jupiter, Florida driver.
They're 3 wide for the second spot going into turns 1 and 2. As Hudson O'Neal looked like he was shot out of a cannon there. He got a good run on the high side, but it'll be Mark Whitner in second. O'Neal in third now. He was 4th at the line. Brian Shirley rounds out the top 5. There's a Brandon Overton sandwiched in there as well, James. Clay Harris stays out front. Top 4 or 5 cars content with running the very high side of the speedway.
They know the weather is impending down the back straightaway. Clay Harris looking good at a turn 3. Whitner. We've got 3 of the top 5 have never won a Lucas Oil 8 Dirt Series race as they come off at turn 4. Whitner to the outside. Clay Harris still in front. And Mark Whitner now. He'll cut it to the inside. Nice move by Whitner. Put him in as a power move of the race so far. It's getting a wall. And Clay Harris retakes the lead. Baby, this only ran 3 laps in the books, and they're still at it 5 and 6.
A tricky second corner. A pair of Floridians up front going at it. A pair of drivers looking for their first ever Lucas Oil win. Mark Whitner will have the lead that time by at the stripe. And those Sunshine State drivers better look out because there's a Hoosier lurking in the shadows. Hudson O'Neal starting to reel in that lead duo.
Whitner pulling away into turn number 3. O'Neal, he'll throw it on the bottom, and the big reverse steel 71. He'll take the second spot. Third is then it's Overton, Moran in car 99. Last night's winner, Moran, in this race trying to make up there. He started in 9th in this race. There's Alberson and Shirley going at it as we've got 5 in the books here tonight.
5 laps in the books, 45 laps to go. Rain potentially moving in. Mark Whitner out front by 9/10 of a second over Hudson O'Neal. Clay Harris falling back to 3rd. That's the battle on the left side of your screen as Brandon Overton tries to work underneath the Jupiter, Florida driver. They go side by side on the right side of your screen. The battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, and that charge is led by the 58 of Garrett Alberson.
Rice is in 8th, Shirley 9th. Brandon Shepard runs in 10th. They ended at turn number 1. It's about 5 car lengths between 1st and 2nd, and in a battle for 3rd on the outside. Here comes Brandon Overton. He'll have a run on Clay Harris down the back straightaway as we work lap number 6, or rather number 8 here tonight. Brandon on the outside. Right now, Mark Whitner still with the lead. O'Neal about 3 car lengths back as they cross the line.
And Clay Harris now going to fall back to the 4th spot as Brandon Overton works by that time by at the stripe. And Mark Whitner right now able to tiptoe around the top side of this half-mile oval to near perfection. He's got the 5 car dialed in. He's also unable to pull away from Hudson O'Neal. Both those drivers quickly closing in on the back of the field, James. I would say they're only about 4 laps away from catching the tail end of this field. The top 4, they've stretched out just a little bit over Devin Moran, who's worked his way, as you mentioned, up to position number 5.
An early candidate for the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger, the second night in a row. Rice went up 15 spots last night. He's up 6 early on. He's in 7th. Whitner continues to lead. There's the battle there. That is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. You see Whitner as we come out of turn number 2. Mark Whitner right now 1.2 seconds the advantage, and right now Dallin Murdy off the pace in car 13. Dustin.
Yeah, he slowed coming off turn number 2. He's going to limp that car down to the infield, and will he be able to make it into the infield? He will, and we stay green flag racing. Good job, Dallin Murdy. 11 laps in the books. Mark Whitner stays out front. He and Hudson O'Neal both continue to run that razor-thin line on the very outside of this racetrack. And again, they're about 2 laps away from catching up to the tail end of the field. The first driver to go a lap down will be Chris Smokey Madden.
Right now, Whitner. O'Neal will follow in his tire tracks out of 2. There's Brandon Overton 3rd, Harris 4th, Moran 5th, Ferguson Carson is 6th, Rice, Shepard, Alberson, Brian Shirley runs in 10th. Mark Whitner, like I said the other night, he knows this track like the back of his hand, and right now he is in control of this race, but heavy traffic in front of him as he's about to pick up the tail end of the field, and he got up against the wall in turn number 2. O'Neal will close the gap. down the back straightaway as they work lap 14 here tonight at All-Tech.
That was a pretty good lick he took on the wall there in turn number 2, but he is able to stay out front at least for the time being. Pancake the right side of that race car just a little bit. Brandon Overton and Clay Harris are still right there. That's the top 4 on your screen. Toss a blanket over him, and Whitner slips up a little bit again in that tricky and treacherous second corner as they still close in. And I'm telling you, man, there's some good cars at the back of the field in danger of going a lap down, including Chris Madden, Corey Hedgecock, Dan Ebert, and Dylan McCowan, among others.
Into turn number 1, 15 in the books. A dandy so far. Down the back straightaway, Whitner. Again, that goes around the corner there, that curve in the wall, and then it straightens right back out. So they've had some trouble there. Right there, O'Neal within striking distance. He gets on the gas down the main straightaway. There you see McCowan. There you see Madness. We click off another lap. We have 16 in the record books as they battle around. They put a lap on McCowan. They'll put a lap on Smokey Madden.
Look at
Whitner, O'Neal, Harris, Overton, Moran.
Clay Harris limboing around this racetrack, seeing how low he can go, while the others are up on the high side of the speedway. He just went almost to the infield to work around the 8 of Dylan McCowan. This is an entertaining high-speed battle, a cat and mouse at the front of this field, James. 17 in the books. It's still Whitner, O'Neal, Harris, Overton, and Moran rounding out the top 5, and we have got a Hellraiser Jacks caution as Michael Leach is pointed in the wrong direction coming off turn number 4. Catch your breath, buddy. Catch your breath.
About ran out of ink there. That was pretty good. All right, 17 in the books, Dustin. Mark Whitner, he took the lead back on lap number 4 from Clay Harris. He's led ever since then. O'Neal is second, Harris third, Overton fourth, Moran fifth. And on this Hellraiser Jacks caution, we will check our FK Rod-Ends replay of what happened to the Sun River, Montana driver. Just got in the wall there.
Ooh.
Whoa. No, well, Brian Shirley
got into the wall.
Leach got into the back of him.
He got up on 2 wheels. Ben
Hey, guys.
Shelton.
Yes, Ben.
Down there in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. Dallin Murdy out of the party early. What happened?
I smoked the tractor tire down there and ripped the steering wheel out of my hands, but shoot, we can't even find nothing wrong with it, so I don't know if the rack or something broke, but yeah, that sucked.
All right, still a little bit of a smile on his face. Dallin Murdy, first retiree out tonight. Guys, this racetrack is really good. Do not count Clay Harris out of this one. The weather's definitely approaching. Of course, we get to halfway, all bets are off, so I think guys are going to get even crazier on this restart.
Thanks a lot, man. We take a look there at the damage on the left side of Brian Shirley's race car from where he got into the wall, and then Michael Leach got into him. Over in turn number 4 to bring out our first Hellraiser Jacks caution of the night, Ben.
A Rally Auto Parts Rookie of the Year contender, Dylan McCowan down here in the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit. They could work under the rear of that race car. Michael Leach, meanwhile, brings the 09 down. The Montana racer, shock adjustment on the right rear for Dylan McCowan. As they're doubling them up, lights are out. We'll come back to the green.
Yeah, no tires down. No courtesy laps. By the way, Frank Heckenast Jr. up 9 spots here early on. Ricky Thornton Jr. has gone from 23rd to 16th, but man, I tell you, they're lapping some good cars. It's a good starting field out there. And right now, Ben and Dustin, it's 17 in the books. Mark Whitner, 2 of the top 3 have never won a Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series race. Off at turn 4 in the Duran. Hauling and rigging restart zone. Not a good restart for O'Neal. Here comes on the outside. There's Marine through the middle. It squeezes out. He goes to the outside. All that did was shove him to the outside against the wall down the back straightaway. The 3 white Clay Harris is slowed off of that turn number 2, and there's still 3 wide into turn 3. Oh, that was a restart of the
restart of the year.
Cow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he spun the tires and he couldn't get it going.
Yeah, the big beneficiary in all that was Mark Whitner. That allowed him to stretch out to several car lengths over your new second place car, Hudson O'Neal. Brandon Overton is now third. There's Overton. There's Devin Moran. Clay Harris has finally got his feet under him on the bottom of the racetrack, and he's trying to rally back up through the field and actually falling a couple more spots in that, James, in a incredibly interesting restart.
Well, Mark Whitner's good buddy Kyle Bronson is up here early in the Hoker Trucking from 18th to 10th right now. Whitner continues to show the way in car number 5. Cody Jett, the crew chief, on that car. Down the main straightaway. Into turn number 1. 20 laps in the books. 5 shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark.
Yeah, once we get to halfway, it becomes official as well, as Mother Nature doing her best to spoil the party, and we're doing our best to make sure that she doesn't. But there you see on the left side of your screen that gap Mark Whitner has. He's added about a tenth a lap the last few times around. He'll add a couple more tenths that time by. A 1.7 second advantage for Mark Whitner, who's doing everything he can to stay up front, James, as he tries to get his first ever Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win. Michael Leach out of the party in the 09.
DJ,
Yes.
Josh Rice, 13th to 5th right now in the James Ratliff 11. There's the battle there. Harris and Overton seems like they've battled all 32 laps so far, or 22 laps so far here tonight. Meanwhile, Mark Whitner still has the lead, DJ. 1.8 the advantage over O'Neal. There's Overton third, fourth. Moran is now back to fifth as Rice has slipped back a couple of spots to seventh. Garrett Alberson right now in that sixth spot, Dustin.
Yeah, Whitner lost a little bit that last time by at the front of the field, James. You see Clay Harris continuing, trying to work around the bottom of this racetrack like he was before that lap 17 caution. Mark Whitner, those last couple laps, has seen his lead shrink. It was 1.7 just a few laps ago. As you see the Kaiser Manufacturing speed shot, that lead now down to 1 second. Hudson O'Neal just took 2 tenths off that last time by. The 71 clearly a little quicker than the 5. Good battle here for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Devin Moran, Garrett Alberson, Carson Ferguson, and Josh Rice in the mix. James, Hellraiser Jack's halfway.
Mark Whitner's wanting one of those summertime Florida thunder showers, right? Even though we're here. Whoa, Garrett Alberson drove it straight into turn number 1. And he gets it down the back straightaway. He'll have the run of Moran. Mark Whitner still leads. Right now it's 1.3 seconds the advantage over O'Neal. Overton, Harris, Moran, Alberson, Ferguson, Rice, Bronson, and 9th. Heckenax Jr., good run for Frankie. He's 10th and 99 Jr.
Yeah, let's not forget Frankie started back in 21st as well. He may be a contender for that Hoker Trucking Hard Charger Award as well as Devin Moran gets in the wall there. Coming out of corner number 2, that allows Alberson to close back in. Mark Whitner, these last couple laps at the front of the field, James, he stretched back out a couple more tenths over Hudson O'Neal and Brandon Overton. Clay Harris remains 4th. There's the battle for the lead as they work through the back of the field on the left side of your screen. Still Whitner, still O'Neal, and they're coming around this time by to complete lap number 28, 22 remaining.
Mark Whitner again took the lead back on lap 4 from Clay Harris. Drives it right in there, turns it out at turn number 2. There you see Overton and Harris. Clay Harris, the roof post, lapping it to win. Harris not good out at turn number 2 here the last several times. But right now he's hanging right in there in 6th. Mark Whitner continues to lead as we work lap number 29 down the straightaway, Dustin.
Don't look now. Hudson O'Neal is there. He has closed in on Mark Whitner considerably. A car length and a half between the lead duo. Hudson O'Neal trying to work that SSI Motorsport 71 down to the inside. You've got a battle for the lead, James Essex, in the midst of lap traffic. Does Hudson O'Neal take it this time? He does. New leader, lap 30, the new deal, Hudson O'Neal.
20 laps to go down the back straightaway. Whitner slides up the track. So O'Neal trying to pull away. The close behind Hilsebeck and Max Blair. Brandon Overton is still 3rd. Clay Harris 4th. Carson Ferguson up to 5th in 93. Down the main straightaway, Hudson O'Neal, the 3rd different leader of this race as they come out of turn number 2. 18 laps to go. Let's take it green all the rest of the way. Get this thing in.
I'll tell you who's got a good race car right now as well is your pole sitter, Brandon Overton. Whitner in the wall again, yeah. Brandon Overton closing in considerably these last couple laps. He's going to now make a challenge for the bridesmaid honors. Look down to the inside of Mark Whitner. Will he take that 2nd spot away in turn 2? He will not. Whitner continues to roll around the top side, and as those two do battle, James, that's allowed Hudson O'Neal to pull away the last couple laps. Last time by a 2-second advantage for the 2023 Series champ.
Heckenax 21st to 9th. Good run for the 2nd generation racer. There you see the battle there. Mark Whitner in 2nd and 5. 76 Brandon Overton. Clay Harris 4th. Carson Ferguson is 5th. Right now the lead has grown already to 2.3 seconds for the 71 car as he will come into turn number 1 around more traffic as they enter right there as he goes to the outside of Madden. And right now, if he can get around, who is that in the middle of the back straightaway? If he gets around him,
Brian Shirley.
He's got a long, clear racetrack in front of him. And Brian Shirley right now back in 15th in the 3S car after a good early start to this evening.
An interesting line here. We're going to keep it with Hudson O'Neal here for a lap. He goes high, as you see down here in turns 1 and 2. He rides that cushion from the entrance of turn 1 all the way down the back straightaway. And now he's going to come down, well, he's going to make a liar out of him. He's been running down low in turns 3 and 4 the last couple laps. He'll go high this time as he tries to work around Brian Shirley. But the last several laps, James, he had been going very high, as you see right there, down in turns 1 and 2, and then coming down to the very inside of the racetrack in 3 and 4.
Man, they tiptoe around that top. I mean, like you say, it's a thin razor edge right there. Now he comes back down low behind Brian Shirley. They work out at turn number 4. Lap 37, 13 to go for the third-generation racer. Hudson O'Neal, meanwhile, about a straightaway behind is the 5. And Brandon Overton has gone to second. Overton is second with 13 to go in car 76.
Yeah, Brandon Overton's going to have to, if he's, number 1, he's going to try to stay in the second spot. Number 2, he's got a pretty good margin to make up over your race leader, Hudson O'Neal. Mark Whitner says, not so fast, my friend. A bold move there by the Middleburg, Florida driver. May put the Magic Man back in the second spot. It does. Overton holds second for a lap. Mark Whitner going to take it back. 2.1 seconds the advantage for Hudson O'Neal.
Whitner picks it up down the back straightaway. Right now, O'Neal, he's got plenty of room here behind the tail end of the field as he comes off of turn 4. Now Whitner, you know Whitner's not going to give up. He's going to ride that concrete to the very end, Dustin Jarrett, into turn number 1. Next time around, there will be 10 laps to go. Can 5 and 76 without a caution catch him down the back straightaway?
They had actually closed in on Hudson O'Neal the last couple of laps, but I tell you what, James, once Hudson O'Neal disposed of the 3S of Brian Shirley, he was able to put a pretty good margin between himself and Whitner. That lead is now up to 3.5 seconds for Hudson O'Neal as he's found another gear, and meanwhile that battle for second continues to rage on.
That's sporty. That is sporty, man. Whitner cuts down on Overton. He leaves him with some room. They'll come out of turn number 4. They're going to go side by side. Overton, can he officially get second back? He does with 9 to go.
How many times have we say this at races throughout the year? You take the leader out of it and it's a whale of a race. Look at Clay Harris. Clay Harris back in the mix in the battle for second. That's 3 cars battling for the second spot on the right side of your screen, and that's a whale of a battle. But as we come around for 8 laps to go, Whitner pounds the wall. That battle happens over 5 seconds behind behind Hudson O'Neal.
Heels are back out of the race in 22. Off of turn 4, 7 laps to go. In 71, Brandon Overton second, Clay Harris, Whitner, Ferguson, Moran, Shepard, Alverson, Heckeness, and Hedgecock. Your top 10. Clay Harris, he was running second on Thursday night, got on the wall. He finished second last night. Right now, O'Neal, trying to become the 3rd different winner of the week here in the Veland Winter Nationals, has put a lap on Josh Rice, who at one point was running 5th in this race.
Yeah, he's in 12th right now, so 11 drivers on the lead lap in this one with 6 laps to go, and this is looking eerily similar to what we saw last night when Devin Moran got out front. When Moran got out front, he really pulled away, although Clay Harris did close in late. Hudson O'Neal now coming upon 5 laps to go. The 11th place car of Kyle Bronson will be the next car to go a lap down. And we've got one car hard in the wall in turn 4, and it's Mark Whitner.
Oh, man, he kept it going, but it's going to bring out a caution.
He was clear up on top of the wall, and there you see the damage for the driver that led laps 4 through 29. Middleburg, Florida's Mark Whitner's night has come to an end.
There is your hard luck of the race.
And that is going to change the complexion of this one dramatically, because that erases a 4.2 second lead that Hudson O'Neal had built.
And Whitner will lead the most laps here tonight, but he will not finish this race. He's led 26 laps, as you just mentioned. O'Neal was 16, Harris with 3, and he was Dukes of Hazzard down that right. Look at that. Got up on the wall, he got it off the wall.
I thought he was going over,
but
he
couldn't steer at the right front. Suspension's all messed up. But I tell you, Whitner, man, he drove his heart out here tonight at his home track. But he will not finish this one here tonight, Dustin. Man,
Ben Shelton, a wild turn of events, and we've still got 5 laps left to go in this one here tonight.
Yeah, and if you're Hudson, you obviously don't love that. You had a 5-second lead. This place hasn't always been kind to you, and you know how crazy these restarts are. And oh yeah, you look on the board, and that 76 is right there behind you. And again, Clay Harris, just every time you thought he's out of this one, he climbs back into it. 5 laps remaining, 15,000. We'll talk to the Big River Steel podium when this one's over.
Last caution. Go ahead, DJ.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Yeah, real quick, worth noting, I'm not sure if Devin Moran maybe lost the transponder on his car or not. There you see him out on the racetrack. He is in, I believe, the 5th position, if I'm not mistaken. Those of you watching at home on FloRacing will note that the 99 does not show up in the ticker at the top of your screen. That's because I believe he lost the transponder on that race car, but rest assured, as you can see, he currently is running in P5. Carson Ferguson, another good run, running in 4th. Clay Harris now 3rd. And the big question, James, is with 5 laps to go, does Brandon Overton have anything for your leader, Hudson O'Neal?
Yeah, that's only the second caution, right? The first one was for Leach, right? And then we had that wild restart. Clay Harris could not get started off at 2. He had several cars go around him, but he is rebounded here. Now, I believe is it single file, right? We've got 5 or less laps to go in this 50-lapper.
Yes.
Single file restart. Hudson O'Neal, Brandon Overton, Clay Harris, Carson Ferguson, Devin Moran, Garrett Alberson. Whitner is out, so it'd be Shepard, Heckeness, Hedgecock. Well,
these restarts are something.
Here we go, buddy.
Ace Duran restart zone. Green flag is out. We're underway with 5 laps to go. And here comes Clay Harris looking down to the inside of Brandon Overton for 2nd.
Oh, man, out at 2. Down the back straightaway. Look at Carson Ferguson trying to reach the Big River Steel podium tonight to the outside at 93. Tough luck for him the last couple of nights, but right now Carson Ferguson has it going up top way out there with 4 to go.
You start to wonder if that high side down in turns 3 and 4, James, it's stretched out too far. It's too long of a distance around. Meanwhile, on back through the field, one driver rolling around the high side is Garrett Alberson. Alberson going to get 2 for the price of 1 that time. He's looking for possibly a Big River Steel podium. Will he be in 4th this time by? He just tagged the wall. Yes, he will. 3 to go.
Well, he's got Harris. He's about 10 behind him. You see him turning it out at 2 down the back straightaway. The lead right now is 1 second. O'Neal over Overton. Out at turn 4. Hudson O'Neal, Brandon Overton. Doesn't look like he's got anything right now. Garrett Alberson is pedaling hard.
Yep.
Can he reach the podium, Dustin? But they're going to go to the Barron's Performance. 1 lap to go next time around.
Man, that 71 is really good over in turn number 2. That tricky second corner here at All-Tech. This time by Barron's Performance, 1 to go. Final time around for the new deal, Hudson O'Neal. Does Brandon Overton have anything left for the race leader?
O'Neal looking for his 35th career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. That would pull him within 9 of his Hall of Fame father, Don O'Neal, who's here this weekend. Off at turn number 4. Mark Whitner's going to lead the most laps, but Hudson O'Neal's going to win here tonight, pending the Long Acre Scales, Dustin.
2nd place will be Brandon Overton. 3rd place, Clay Harris. 4th will go to Garrett Alberson, and Carson Ferguson will round out the top 5. Unofficially, it'll be, how about Frank Heckeness Jr. from 21st to 6th? He will unofficially be the Hoker Trucking Hard Charger. Devin Moran 7th, Brandon Shepard 8th, Corey Hedgecock 9th, and Kyle Bronson will unofficially be the last car on the lead lap, finishing in 10th. And still 1 bit of business to take care of for Hudson O'Neal, as he'll make his way to the Long Acre Racing Products Tech and Scale area. And if he passes A-OK, he will pick up his 5th win already in 2026.
How about this MD3 most laps led? Whitner with 26, but he did not finish the race. O'Neal 21 and Clay Harris 3. So 3 different leaders of that race. Where did O'Neal start?
He started 4th.
He started 4th and
how
got
about
the lead back on lap 30. And he's got 1 more bit of business. He's crossed the scales. It's 23.50 is the minimum, minus the number of laps, pound per lap. So it'll be 50 laps, so he can weigh 2,300. So now the droop check.
Todd and Vicky Burns
Todd is here. Todd is here this weekend.
Saw him the other day, absolutely.
Headed back to Indiana tomorrow, but 3 races, 3 different winners.
2 Hellraiser Jacks cautions in this race, and Frank Heckenus Jr. passed 15 cars from 21st up to 6th. Dan Ebert up 11 spots. Corey Hedgecock up 10.
And we got them all in.
And we got them all in, absolutely. And that does it. He gets the thumbs up. He's going to make his way to Veland Victory Lane, a winner for the 5th time overall in 2026. Ben Shelton is going to be Hudson O'Neal.
Hudson O'Neal picks up his 35th career Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win here tonight. He becomes the 8th different Super Late Model driver to win in Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series competition here at All-Tech Raceway, and he's on top of the Big River Steel podium. 15,000 he picks up tonight, and he is the winningest Super Late Model driver early in the season in the business. 5th win, and tonight the first Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series win of the year, the 2023 Series champion. And it was a good night for the driver. The Wheeler Metals, number 71, Merrill Bonding Longhorn, the SSI Motorsports entry. I believe Todd Burns is here this weekend. As last year, 4th in the standings for Huddy. Tonight, on top of the race car, how about it for your feature winner, Hudson O'Neal? Sunoco checkered flag in hand, salutes the fans, and he's going to hop down as the confetti flies. We'll talk to Huddy, Brandon Overton, and Clay Harris, your Big River Steel podium top 3. And man, I tell you what, you made that checkered flag, that Sunoco checkered flag, work as hard as you did. Huddy, you get to the lead. That caution comes out with 5 to go, and this place hasn't always been nice to you. Well, what's going through your mind at that point?
Dang it. Definitely didn't want to see the caution. I felt like I had a good race car, but the top getting into 1 was so far out there, and I felt like it really opened me up to a slide job if I didn't get a good restart. So I just tried to focus on my restart there, make sure I kind of pinched that last tire and got as low as I could down this front straightaway and try and just get as much separation as I could. So, yeah, I really thought Whitner was going to be really hard to beat, and he was running that top really good, and he was on the ragged edge, and I was just trying to pace myself, and then luckily I found this bottom down here in lap traffic, and it all worked out, man. Never won here before, so it's such a good feeling to win somewhere new, and with the switch, some of the switches we made with shocks and everything this year, it feels really good to get off to speed weeks on a good note. And most importantly, I want to thank all my guys, Jason, Riley, Kyle, Logan, Todd Burns, Vicky Burns, SSI Motorsports, my wife Tessa, my dad's here, Nick Apinski's back here as well, and it's really cool to be standing up here on the front straightaway.
Winningest driver in the country in Super Late Models right now with 5 wins. What does that mean?
Yeah, man, just trying to appreciate it while it's here because it doesn't always stay. So appreciate everybody on this race car, Wheeler Metals, Merrill Bonding Company, Big River Steel, Scott and everybody, Seven Spurs Ranch, Indiana U SSA, O'Neal Savage and Recycling, Professional Concrete, Penske Racing Shocks, Beam and Lumber, Midwest Sheet Metal, O'Neal Contracting, Sunoco Race Fuels, and everybody that's a part of it. Takes everybody and every one of them, no big, no small, and we appreciate all of them. Appreciate all you fans. Thank you so much for sticking it out, and thank you to All-Tech Raceway and Wendell and Lucas Oil and everybody, and we'll hopefully get a few more.
His puppy dog River's jumping up and down. His wife Tessa's down here. How about it for Hudson O'Neal, your winner tonight? Second's going to go to Brandon Overton. Brandon, you look at the rundown one last time. Again, this place hasn't been kind to you either. To come out of here with a couple of podiums, what does this give you as you head into the rest of Speed Weeks?
Yeah, we'll take it because this was going to be our bad week track. So we set fast time, I think, every night in our group, 1-2 heats, and we're pretty much, 2 of the 3 nights we were on the podium, so I'll take it. This place is just super tricky, and I think I had a winning car tonight. I just literally have been struggling so bad to run the bottom. The first couple of laps, I tried to poke my nose down in there and just let them go around me in the top. So just got my ass up there and went for it. But it is what it is. Congrats to Hudson and Clay. They've been fast all weekend too. So I want to thank Jason and Scott Riggs for everything they do for me. Napa, Dude Wipes, Heartbeat Hot Sauce, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Garnto Southern, Big Dog Stuff Tree, Dirt Mafia, RW Powell, SCM, Harco Construction, RRB Trucking. My buddy Jeffrey's got all of us. We got all of our race car stuff in his shop, so I couldn't do it without him. Elite Roofing. I know I'm going to forget somebody. Chad Tootin with Boswell Oil, Clements Automotive, Bill Steen, VG, my boys DJ, Ryder, Josh, Nick. Olivia Tires with us. I got Josh's girlfriend in the T-shirt trailer. So yeah, it's a whole group effort. Just want to say hey to my family, and I appreciate all the fans for coming out. We'll see you next year.
A second place finish and a sip of a Budweiser. Brandon Overton in second. Meanwhile, tonight, rounding out your Big River Steel podium in third, Clay, you let them know you were there from the drop of the green. You jumped out there, and it just seemed like, man, as the race went on, it felt like you were coming and going throughout. What was your biggest challenge tonight?
I couldn't run that top like them boys could. I hit the tractor tire with the tire, not the nose at first, and it knocked the toe off, and it ripped the steering wheel out of my hands. So I had to gather back up and get it back together. And then at the end there, on the last lap, for some reason, I decided to hit the tire again and knock it completely off. So I want to thank everybody that's out here, my whole crew. They've been working hard this whole week. My mom, my dad, Dunrack Construction, Wilkerson Farms, Growers Irrigation, Universal Cable and Systems, Impact Electric, Boswell Oil, Kaiser Manufacturing, everybody with Integra. They've been helping me out a lot, and we showed some speed, and I'm looking forward to Ocala.
2 podiums to round out the week, man. You can't be too upset about that.
No, I'm not upset. I should have been 3, but sometimes you're your own worst enemy. So that's it.
Well, how about it, race fans? Clay Harris, he comes home in third out of Jupiter, Florida. That rounds out your Big River Steel podium top 3.